Count me down.
Go.
Hey, I'm Bryce Levy. How you doing? Okay, my name is Bryce Levy. I'm 27 years old. I'm from New York, born and raised in Long Island. Went to high school in Long Island. After that, went to play lacrosse up in Herkimer, New York. Hated the cold. Went down to Florida to finish my lacrosse career and my college career. After the University of South Florida, I got my degree in interpersonal communications. I moved back up to New York City, where I worked for a record label for about a year. Didn't like it. Didn't like the opportunities that were available, if there were any. So I went down to Argentina to coach lacrosse. Was down there for 2 years. Just got back in January, and now I'm working for one of the major telecom industries companies right now. And since junior year of college, I've been working on a book. It started with one story in a theater class that I needed to graduate, and you were in a group of 4 people. Everyone wrote a story about their youth, and then the 3 others would act out the story. And each week you would have a turn of acting your story out with the group. My story was a big hit, and I had fun writing it. Then it came to me that I had all these stories growing up with 2 older insane brothers, a younger little sister, and 2 parents from the hippie days. We had some stories growing up. So I started writing them in my free time, and I had fun. Since I started, it's been about 4 years, 5 years since I've been writing this book. I have 5 notebooks here. The stories, some of them are long, some of them are short. The names of a few stories I have are Floatin' Duty, which I'll tell you a little bit about each story. Floatin' Duty is me and my sister were taking a bath when we were younger together, and Truth or Dare ended up with me having a duty floating when I was about 4 years old. Pinecone Cannon, me and my brothers were out in the Hamptons when we were 6 years old, throwing pine cones over a overpass. We hit a nice gentleman test driving a Corvette out there, and I was driven home in a back of a police car when I was 7 years old to my family having a family dinner. Tape babysitting. My older brother, was given the opportunity to, show his maturity and babysit me for the first time. Well, he got his first date that night too, and he had to tape me and my friend back to back for 4 hours while he went on his first date. While my parents were out. Bees in the van. My brothers went and stole my sister's butterfly net and our insect carrier when we were little. They caught about 50 bees and then happened to lock me and the bees in the van for about 10 minutes. And that day was the first day my dad whooped my brother's butts. The point of these stories is as small as having my kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews to read them and enjoy them and learn about who their siblings were. And my big dream would be something bigger that it could lead to. Who knows what? The real reason behind this book was my grandfather passed away at 96. And by the time I was old enough to ask him real stories about the war and real stories that I wanted to hear that he really lived, he was too old to tell them to me, and I feel like I missed out on that part. So this is my way of passing on the story of me, my brothers, and our friends. And believe his story, it's real.